Hey everyone, Selena here. Selena Selena Bacher Crochet, but also the American Crochet Association. I'm the founder, host, and lead educator there. Yeah, Selena Bacher Crochet is also the name that I go by when I write patterns, and today I wanted to tell you guys about a pattern, and so that's why I have all of the titles. If you guys are watching live, come on over, say hey, say hello, tell me where you're viewing from. I'm here to share an old pattern, but a good pattern. She's gotten a little bit of a reformat, so she's got a pretty new dress on, and I just wanted to make sure you guys saw this, you know where it is, you know why it's, hip and happening and all that kind of stuff. So the last couple weeks, I've been sharing some reformats of crochet patterns that I'm sharing with the American Crochet Association. Specifically because I used to just slap patterns on that site because I just thought you just want the pattern, right? Here you go. Here's the pattern. Here's the instructions. And I just feel like I've learned a lot about what people look for on the internet when they're looking for things on the internet. And so I'm going through all of those old patterns that used to just have instructions, and I'm just making the format so much more robust. And that way, if you have any questions, there's just tons of information to help you through the pattern. Now, if you guys are like, it's a washcloth, like, why is it got to be so complicated? These, this table of contents and everything that I'm sharing, most of these things are just real quick and easy, just a few sentences, and they're all based on questions that I've gotten on this pattern and other patterns like it. So I just wanted to walk you guys through it. All right. So again, if you're watching live, I see quite a few of you guys are here. I see your eyeballs. Come on over, say hey, say hello. Tell me where you're viewing from. I'll give you a shout out in just a second. Okay. So again, is this just a washcloth? A little bit, kinda, but it can be so much more than that. And that's why I opened the door to this. So many people are on the internet. Raise your hand if I'm talking about you and you guys are searching for things like stash busters. What do I do with cotton yarn? What's a great gift for someone? What can I make at craft fairs? So I feel like most of us, myself included, were like, give me answers to all of these questions. And so often, all of those questions, the answer you guys didn't know you were looking for but come across is a washcloth. These are really fun patterns, again, to just, if you've got tons of extra yarns like cotton and you just want to do something with them, washcloth. You want to learn a new crochet stitch and you don't really know what to do with it, washcloth. You want a gift for someone who maybe, and again, and I wrote this in my post when I was writing it up. It's kind of funny, but it's true. Do they have a kitchen or a bathroom? Washcloth. It's just one of those things, right? It's just one of those things that I feel like for a really long time in my crochet life as a crocheter, I didn't quite understand why washcloths were so popular. And then I started making them and I was like, oh, okay, I love these. These are so much fun. I totally get it now. So if you're looking for any kind of project that fits any one of those, this is it. Here she is. I'm introducing you, okay? Easy textured washcloth, meet the crochet community meet the easy textured washcloth. So I actually came up with this design a couple years ago because I love simplicity in crochet. Simplicity is like my middle name in crochet. Whenever I want to crochet something new, whenever I want to come up with a new pattern, whenever I want to come up with something new and different, I typically start with a stitch sometimes, and I want something that gives me a lot. Like whenever I'm looking at it, it looks complicated. It looks like there's a lot going on, but I don't want my brain to do a lot of work. So I was playing around with different kinds of textures. And when I came across this texture, I just absolutely fell in love. I wound up not only making like a million washcloths with this stitch because it's so fun, but I actually came up with an entire blanket that you can use any yarn. There's a whole worksheet and you can use any yarn that you want. You can make any size that you want. And it uses this stitch. So that's how fascinated I was with this stitch. And I think that's why this is probably one of our most popular patterns on our site right now. I mean, it's been shared over 2,000 times. I mean, everyone wants to look at it all the time. I get it. She's pretty. She's fun and she's pretty. She's a good time. So, okay, back to, all the information that I'm giving. So those are, why should you care about this washcloth? Who is it for? All that kind of stuff. I talk about yarn, what yarn I used, where you can get that yarn, and then how you can substitute yarn. That's another huge question in the crochet world, and that's another reason I want to put in something like a table of contents for these patterns, because not everyone's going to use the exact same yarn that I use to write the pattern. And for something like a washcloth, some people may go, I know how to substitute yarn for a washcloth, no problem. But there's so many new people to crochet, or so many people who do crochet who just, how do you know all the different things you're supposed to know about different kinds of fibers? Like, why do we choose cotton? How come I can't use acrylic? So there's really a lot to know about the fibers that we choose for projects. And I think a washcloth is really a great conversation to have about why do you choose this fiber and not that? So a few details on that. There's some helpful resources, like if you want to see other finished washcloth patterns. It's helpful for a washcloth, even though it's a washcloth, I know. But it's really just such a fun way to get inspired. And what I mean by that is, like, when you look at all the finished projects, like some projects are made with completely different yarns. You can see those. Like, what yarns are people using for this? Tons of different yarns. How does a solid color work up? What if I use 3 different solid colors? What if I use a self-striping yarn? What if I use... So, I mean, there's so many different... I guess, variations, or it looks like variations just based on the type of yarn someone uses and the color. So it's a fun thing to go and take a peek at if you're considering this pattern. Let's see how to change colors and rows. We've got a tutorial, so if you need to see that in action, especially if you're new, we've got that right here for you. If you like this stitch and you're like, wait a minute, there's stitches here? What other stitches you got? I've got it all right there if you want to see more washcloth patterns. So really, it's just such a robust way to, do you like this? Do you want some more? Do you need some information? Here you go. Everything that you could possibly need to make this pattern. So details about the yarn, the hook, other materials, gauge, size, dimension, stitch key, notes. I have a stitch chart for this. So if you're the kind of person who likes stitch charts or just needs to see it, I got you covered. And then all the instructions for the washcloth. This washcloth does come with a border. There's finishing instructions. So she is robust. There she is. And if you do want to just purchase the pattern on Ravelry because you want to add it to your library there, I love adding things to my library there. If you just want to add it to your library and you just want a PDF that you can find anywhere and it's there whenever you need it, there's a link for that too. All right, I see a few of you guys are still watching. Not everybody wants to say hello. I get it, but I do want to give a shout out to Susie, who says very pretty washcloth. I'm so glad you like it. Susie says, I think every crocheter at some point has made a washcloth. They are so great to make and can be very simple and more intricate in design. Yeah, for so many different reasons. I absolutely love washcloths. I talked a little bit about how it's a great way to, like, I want to try out a new stitch, but I want to actually make something. Washcloth. I got a new yarn. How does it work up? How does this color work up? I mean, I have, what gift do I give my friend who just, they moved, or they got a new addition to the family, or whatever. I mean, I think it's just such a great gift for all of those reasons. I've seen, and you guys really surprise me. I learned so much from you guys. So depending on the size of these, like, it can go in the kitchen. You don't have to some people, myself and me, I am some people. I used to think that, like, a dishcloth was specifically just for washing dishes. Like that, dishcloth just for washing dishes. And so for a long time, I thought, well, it has to be like really scratchy, durable, like scrubby yarn or something like that. And that can be kind of hard to work with. So you can wash dishes with these. But the thing that I love to do with washcloths more often than not is just, like, I love to dust with them. We have stainless steel appliances that have to be polished all the time because they picky. And these are great for polishing those appliances. These are great for just kind of like, at the end of the day, you make a meal and your counters in the kitchen, they crumbly. I like to just kind of wipe down or wash off my counters. So there's so many things that you can do with these in the kitchen. In the bath, of course, they're good for washing, of course. I also have a lot of information in here about choosing yarn that's like, is it color fast? Is the color going to bleed? Here are different kinds of fibers you can use depending on what you're going to do with them. So for example, if you are going to be making these for the bathroom, for bath time, some people only want organic cotton. So, I mean, just some things to think about in that realm. So again, you can use this as a full body wash down kind of thing. I know people who specifically make these, especially in textures like this, and that's their washcloth like for their face. So that's how they like wash and dry their face. So, I mean, just such a cool thing to use. Just so many, you guys gave me so many different ideas about how to use it. So I really appreciate it. Here's some of the projects from Ravelry. Again, you can see how like a short color repeat, how that looks, how different colors look, how a long repeat looks, this self-striping yarn over here. We see lots of, you know, stripy yarn over here with kind of a longer color repeat. Here's something with flex, solids. I mean, it's a fun pattern. It's a fun pattern. I think it can really look completely different depending on the color that you use. Again, so many different tutorials, different stitches. You can get it on Ravelry. Oh my gosh, wanted to show you the last picture because I made so many of these, but I just wanted to share a few pictures of the stripy yarn, and then I used different colors. Oh my gosh, so much information. There it is. I used different colors, and then I made one just in a cream color, but of course my internet, especially since I'm streaming, it's a little slow. And then just a solid color. So there it is. I just wanted you guys to see that this is here. It's out there. I have a ton more information. The format is even better. And you can click around all of these links right here in the table of contents if you're just looking for something in particular. If you're like, okay. Oh, I just want to know this right here. That's all I want to know. It takes you right to it. So it really is just such a better system for browsing our site. And I hope you guys really love it and enjoy it. Okay, if you guys dig this pattern, if you dig it, if you think it's cool, let me know in the comments. If you think it's super cool, I'm such a nerd. Tag a friend in the comments or share this video in just one place that you enjoy crochet if you think they'll dig it too. And if you guys do make this washcloth, please come on over and share it in our community. I'd love to see. And definitely add your project to Ravelry, because not only does it build your crochet resume, it's just one more cool place where people can go and get inspiration. What yarn did they use? What do the colors look like? Oh, so cool. Love it so much. So it's just such a fun way to build your resume and still share with the community. All right, final shout outs to Susie. Thank you so much for being here. Connie, thanks for joining us and saying hello. Susie, I'm so glad you like it. Thanks for being chatty today. All right, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoy the easy texture washcloth crochet pattern. It's gotten some updates. There's a ton of information. So whether you just want to make a washcloth or you want to learn some different things, hopefully this accomplishes all of that, okay? Let's make it a conversation. So keep me posted in the comments. As soon as I see your comment, then I'll comment, and then it'll be a conversation, right? Okay. Peace, love, crochet, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.